Hello everyone, it's so good to be here yet again. It's been a while since we did an official Bottomless Pit review. As you can see, the environment has changed. The studio location has been totally trashed after the flood, but no matter, it is quite work in progress. But regardless of the status, I'm here showing up to talk about a film yet again. Incidentally, it's been about like 2 weeks since the last time I got to the cinema, which in my books might as well have been a year ago. It's been way too long, so I went to go check out Strange Darling today. And initially, this is a film that gives the impression that it's based on a true story, but post-viewing, it seems looking into the film, it might not have been. It could be a loose adaptation of some events that transpired, but in any case, I digress. I'm not going to go into too much detail talking about the plot of the film, because it could be really easy to spoil really important details about this film. So the most macro synopsis of this film is that essentially this is a serial killer drama, and it definitely falls in the horror category because there's quite a lot of bloodshed that happens. Going into this film, I literally had no idea what to expect, which in hindsight, this is a super appropriate comment given the kind of film experience this is. Boy, oh boy, are there red flags in this film. And speaking of red, the color red is perfectly woven into the aesthetic DNA of this film. It has a super pronounced presence, not only in the bloodshed as I mentioned, but in the lighting, the costume design, the set decoration, and speaking of the props and locations, there's this specific house we go to one point in time, and it was such a marvel to just look at through all the little odds and trinkets scattered throughout this place. It was quite a feast for the eyes. So yeah, aesthetically, this film totally knocks it out of the park when it comes to the visual department, the lighting, the costume, and the cinematography. Which, as it were, I didn't know going into the film, but it seems that Giovanni Ribisi, of all people, is a cinematographer here. If you don't know who that is, he's a famous actor. I just recently saw him in Lost in Translation. Though he was a photographer there, I did not expect to see him as a cinematographer here, but that is neither here nor there. Once again, it is an all-round visual banger of a film, and the soundtrack as well is super effective. But perhaps the most substantial creative element of this film is its non-linear narrative structure, which I think a lot of people will be drawing parallels to films like Pulp Fiction or Memento. And at first, admittedly, I thought that this was used just for show, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. And as far as the presentation goes of that element, it is supremely well done. But I am happy to report that there's a very clever narrative purpose that it serves over here. I obviously don't want to go into more detail to avoid spoilers, but it is used to create this very effective subversion of expectations. I imagine that it might rub some people the wrong way, either for political or social reasons, but as far as I'm concerned, I thought this was just a very effective filmmaking tool, and it worked for a pretty darn good twist. And to highlight that point, the acting in this film is fucking fantastic. This might not be award contender material, but Willa Fitzgerald and Kyle Gallner give some pretty standout performances, and I particularly love the fact that there's a lot hidden beneath the surface layer. So that was a real treat. So yeah, this is a surprise on all fronts. I really enjoyed this film, and I think this is a solid 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, this was great. Actually, scratch that. I take it back instantly. This is a fucking horror show. Christ almighty. But yeah, I do highly recommend it if you're looking for a good horror film with a nice twist. And here we are with yet another great 2024 horror film. And it seems that in the near and immediate future, there are already other horror films that I'm very much eager to check out. So I imagine I'll be talking about them very soon on this channel. So with all that being said, wishing you and your loved ones nothing but the best. I'm gonna keep on working on this new studio setup over here. It's gonna take a minute to iron out all the kinks over here, but there you go. It's work in progress, but we're still showing up to keep the ball rolling. And I imagine they'll continue doing the Michelle Movie Minute shorts that I started not too long ago while I was resetting up over here. Those are fun and they are an interesting challenge for me, and I do see this as an opportunity to talk about films that aren't necessarily in theaters right now in a very short and efficient format. So until next time, whenever, however that will be. Bye now.